Hey everyone, I'm Mind, and this is set number 71840, Rogue vs. Drix Race Car Duel from the Summer 2025 LEGO Ninjago wave. This is a 4+ set which contains 111 pieces, 3 minifigures, and will retail for $23.99 in the US, and currently retails for $19.99 in Europe. If you missed it, I've already done reviews of the other Summer 2025 Ninjago sets, so you can go check those out on my channel after this video, and if you enjoy this kind of content and you want to see more, make sure to leave a like on the video and subscribe to the channel if you're new. Liking and subscribing does a ton to help support me and the channel, and it also helps YouTube to show you my videos more often. So thank you all very much for the support, and now let's get into the review. So, I have finally gotten my hands on this set. This is the one set from the main wave I've not reviewed yet, and we still have the poly bag as well, and I did just pick that up, so stay tuned for a review of that coming probably tomorrow. But this is the 4+ set of the wave. Now, if you guys aren't familiar with what 4+ is, basically they're LEGO sets designed for a much younger audience, kids aged 4 and up. So as such, they're a little bit different than regular LEGO sets. They exclusively use bigger pieces, there's no like small studs or anything. The instructions are a lot more simple, and the overall build just usually isn't as nice looking. So a lot of the time, 4+ sets are just not for me, and they're not for my audience, but I still like to cover them because they're a part of the Ninjago wave. But putting this together, this might actually be one of the best 4+ sets we've had in Ninjago in a while. The one from earlier this year was pretty good too, but I do think I like this more. And that's in terms of build, value, and minifigure selection. So let's go through it. There's two main builds here. We have the Rogue car, or J car, whatever you want to call it. Rogue's the one driving it, but it's more J-themed. And then we have the Drix car as well. Starting with the Rogue car though, it's got this really awesome printed piece at the front, and we have the Source Dragon of Energy symbol right here and some lightning effects on the side. 4+ sets never use stickers, they exclusively use prints. So that's always one of the highlights of them, is getting these cool new printed parts. And this one looks amazing. You could definitely make a cool like custom J vehicle using that. The actual shape of the car is fairly simple, it's quite blocky, but that's to be expected. I think the bright yellow trim on the inside's a nice touch, and you can see here's the seat for Jay to sit. And then they use like these roof tiling pieces at the back to sort of be like a spoiler. That shaping's nothing too crazy, but it works well enough. And then we have like a golden bumper at the front. Of course, it's a car, so it's got 4 wheels, you're able to roll it around. But what I really like about this build is actually the play feature. They use these new bolts that I've never seen before. I don't know if they're new for this set or if they've been in other themes in 4+, because personally I do not collect any 4+ really outside of Ninjago. But yeah, this is my first time seeing them. They're sort of like a spiritual successor to flick missiles, but in my opinion a huge improvement. It's very simple how they work. You just push in the back right here, and they shoot out really far. Here's how they look when they're removed. There's a really funky shape to them. What I guess is happening is when you push it out, it sort of squeezes it and then unsqueezes it, and that's what launches it really far forward. But as a kid, this is what I always wanted flick missiles to be. If you guys aren't familiar with flick missiles, they're just like an older style of blaster LEGO used to do. And you could push them out like that, but then they would just fall directly in front of the thing. If you really wanted them to launch, you had to flick them instead, hence why they were called flick missiles. And I found the whole flicking thing to be very annoying as a kid, so I never really did it. This, though, is what I wanted, where you could just push in on it and it would actually launch. Like, look at that. Look how far that goes. I'm not even using a lot of force. That is fantastic toy design. And of course, you can line up the car with an enemy and try to hit them. There we go. And then here's how the car looks with Jay actually in it. You can see he's got a steering wheel in front of him. Overall, I think this build's cute. Obviously, it's nothing like too crazy. It is a very blocky, very simple car. But with some modifications, I think you could make this look pretty good. For the intended audience of 4+, I think it's fantastic. But even for older collectors, I don't think this would feel super out of place in a collection. Especially with some modifications, I think you could make it look quite good. And then the other car in this set is the Drix car. Now this is amazing to get because it's a villain vehicle, which we do not get too often in Ninjago anymore outside of 4+. So even though it's a very simple 4+ car, I'm just happy to have anything at all for the villains. And it is a good bit smaller than Jay's car, but visually I think it fits Drix really well. There's like these toothpaste blue teeth on the sides that give it this like very evil spiky design, and that color matches the Spectral Dragonians that come in other sets this wave. There's some exhausts at the front which look cool. I feel like there could be a little more added right here, but again, there's always that room for customization. And I love these giant slope pieces. These are a newer part which I believe originally comes from Speed Champions. They also come in the giant bounty this wave, but it's a very neat angle to bring over to a simpler build. My favorite part of the car though is definitely this at the back. We have these 3 claws, and you might recognize these because these are the same claws that we saw in the villains last year. The Wolfmask Warriors, when they were like being empowered by the Forbidden 5, had these like blood arms that came off their back, and each of those had these 3 red claws. The Wolfmask Warriors are gone now, and we haven't really seen that again, but it was a Forbidden 5 thing. So it's cool to see that a Forbidden 5 vehicle has that aesthetic brought over here, and I just think claws in the back of a car is a super cool idea. Here's how it looks to have Drix riding the car. Something that's a little annoying is he can't really put his arms down because of the slope piece. You could bend him forward a little bit, and that helps, but if you try to move the arms too far down, he just comes out of the seat entirely. so now you can see it's not attached at all. That's not the end of the world, but I would have liked to see that work. I think especially because this is a 4+ set and like very little kids are going to be playing with it, I could imagine as a kid it being very annoying that I couldn't put my minifigure's arms all the way down. But for older collectors who are watching this video, that shouldn't be too difficult to fix. You can honestly probably just put an extra 2x3 plate in there and raise everything up one stud, and then everybody would be able to fit just fine. Drix can also hold one of the revealing blades while driving the car, which is kind of a fun option. But yeah, not much else to say on this one. It's very small, very simple, but I like it. For a 4+ build, it's unique, and as I said, I'm always happy to get villain vehicles. The claws at the back are the coolest part. Now coming to the minifigures, here are the first two in this set. We have Rogue and we have Nya. Now this Rogue minifigure on the left for older collectors is definitely the main draw of this set, because this minifigure is actually exclusive. Now that's very surprising to see. I can't remember the last time a 4+ set had an exclusive minifigure, if ever. Like sometimes there's exclusive variations made up of parts from other sets, and very often 4+ sets are the cheapest way to get certain minifigures. But no, this minifigure has an exclusive part that only comes in this set. So if you're a completionist and you want every single Ninjago minifigure, you will have to get this guy somehow. And that's specifically because of the mask piece on this Rogue minifigure. Because as I'm sure all of you know, Rogue is Jay. Rogue is Jay's persona when he doesn't have his memories, so he's not really a ninja anymore. He doesn't have a ninja mask, instead he's got a hat. Well, in this set, he actually has a proper Rogue ninja mask dual molded in dark blue and gold. The rest of the minifigure is exactly the same as the Rogue minifigure that comes in other sets this year, but yeah, that mask piece is new and exclusive. It's the same mold as the mech pilot suit mask from January 2024, but this color combination is super cool for it. It actually enables you to make some interesting custom minifigures, because in that 2024 wave, we also had these guys, the Rising Dragon suits. And they were literally just the mech pilot suits, but with gold on their masks. And we only got that for 3 ninja, Kai, Nya, and Aaron. But because this new Rogue mask does the gold in the same style as Kai, Nya, and Aaron, you can now make more Rising Dragon suits if you wanted to. Specifically, of course, this would work really well for Jay, but it would also fit Sora, because she also uses dark blue. So definitely something to keep in mind if you guys are going to get this set, and that mask is a very useful part. On the Rogue minifigure though, I think it works fine. Obviously, this suit was not designed for that mask piece, so it is a little bit off, specifically in the shade of gold. Like, it's a much brighter shade of gold on the plastic as opposed to the more muted gold on the torso, because you can see that lightning right there is gold. So I definitely think the hat and half mask that he has in other sets works a lot better, but I really love this variation, and I would love to see more things like this in 4+ sets. And then his face print is still the single-sided face, even though it didn't have to be, with that really amazing angry expression. And of course, he's got no alternate face. And then Nya. This is technically the cheapest way to get this Nya suit. It's her main suit for Dragons Rising Season 3 Part 2. The only issue with it is it's missing a very important part. She does not have her armor piece. So if you want the complete version of that minifigure, unfortunately, you do still have to get the bounty. But if you don't care about the armor piece, this is a much cheaper way to get her, because you could get her in a $23 set as opposed to a, what, $200 set? The minifigure itself, though, honestly, without the armor piece, I actually like a good bit more. She's back to using gunmetal gray as her main color, which is a little bit odd, because she's not done that in a little bit. But I do like it. It's cool to see them mix things up. And then generally, all the ninja this wave use this dark tan. They have these tassels hanging down with their initials on it. You can see even Rogue has that. And then they have dark red on the belt and on their knee pads. The ninja also used their headband hair pieces, and Nya does still have that here. And of course, she's got her standard movie face print, so very happy on one side, slightly less happy on the other. I'm happy that there is a cheaper way to get this minifigure, but man, I wish it was the full version. It's a shame she's exclusive to such an expensive set. But yeah, overall, these two are still both great inclusions. I love the exclusive piece on Rogue. And then Nya's like a nice bonus to get. And then for the final minifigure in this set, we have Drix, one of the members of the Forbidden Five and the Master of Swarm. This is now the third set that Drix has come in. He came in a $10 set in January, and then a $100 set in March. I think that was the price on it. So this is not the cheapest way to get him, but hey, I mean, he's nice to get again. He does have a super cool design. More interesting, though, is probably his accessory. He comes with a revealing blade, which is like the main gimmick of this wave. And it's cool to see that that still comes in the 4+ set, because that comes in almost every set this wave, aside from the Aaron Mech and the Legends sets. But yeah, that includes the 4+ set, so it feels like a nice bonus on top of everything else that you get. Drix, just like Nya, unfortunately does not include his armor piece here. Now, it's less important on Drix compared to Nya, but again, it would have been nice to see. However, without that armor piece, you do have a much better look at his back torso print, where he's got the Forbidden Five symbol. And I just love the color scheme. The red on top of the black is fantastic, and his bug body, like, erupting from his chest is super cool. And an amazing face print, too, with, like, those golden eyes. Super cool design. I will say, if they were going to do a Forbidden 5 member in a 4+ set, I would have rather had any of the other ones compared to Drix, because while I really do like Drix as a character and as a minifigure, Drix did already come in a $10 set earlier this year. It would have been amazing to get Rox or Kerr for super cheap, but even Noct or Zark are exclusive to somewhat more expensive sets, so they would have been nicer to get here. But Drix isn't a bad minifigure at the very least, and you do get 3 whole minifigures in the set, which is a lot for $20, so I can't complain too much. But now, overall, what are my thoughts on this set? Honestly, the set's fantastic. For a 4+ set, I'm very impressed. Normally 4+ sets feel like a ripoff, but this time around though, not really. Like, this feels about what a $20 set should be. Obviously it's less pieces, but it's because you get so many big pieces. The actual volume of the set feels perfectly fair. 3 minifigures is great too, and Nya feels like a bonus on top. They very easily could have just done Jay and Drix, so we had 1 minifigure for each car and that was it. And the exclusive new hood piece is an awesome new idea, and I really hope to see more things like that in the future. It's something so small that if you're a casual fan, you don't really need it, but for hardcore fans and hardcore collectors, it gives you something a little bit more out of this set. I like that a lot. So yes, I would recommend this set. I think for the target audience especially, it's very fun and you get a great value, but even for older collectors, there's enough here that I think you'll enjoy it, especially if you're open to like modifying the vehicles a little bit to make them a bit more interesting, a bit more complex. Genuinely, this is just a great package. But of course, those are just my thoughts. Let me know what you guys think of this set in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a like on it, subscribe to my channel if you're new. Thanks for watching everybody, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye!